Hey everybody, Thacia here with Legacy of Light in conjunction with One Love Wellness Center here in Menasha, Wisconsin, coming to you for one of my 365 days from my heart to yours, and wanted to talk a little bit about being yourself within manifestation, and that's how you really are going to manifest your dreams. I just think a lot of times we're looking for all these other places and instructions and guidance and how do we manifest, what do we do, and instead of talking to our hearts and just being who we are, who we each individually are. Because I found that is the way to manifest your dreams. That is the way when you let go of all these judgments and preconceived notions and things, that you're taught of what you should do within the law of attraction. And then they say, well, don't do that anymore. Do this. Don't do that anymore. Do this. It's a lot to deal with sometimes, and it becomes frustrating. And within that as well is when things aren't manifesting because you're following all these rules and regulations and, well, this is what they did, so it must work for me. It doesn't work for everybody. Everything doesn't work for everybody. We have to find our own paths. And within that dream that's ours. And to follow those. Because sometimes when we're following somebody else's path, when things don't work right and we don't, manifest what we think we should be manifesting, it feels like a failure. And they don't have the same lessons you do. They haven't lived the same life that you have, or lives, or whatever you want to say, but nobody's the same as you. So how can there be this cookie cutter plan to manifest if we are all individual parts of the whole, if we are all individual expressions of God? How can there be a cookie cutter plan? This is the way you manifest. I mean, I understand the law of attraction. I understand that. But also I understand that I get to choose everything in my path. I get to choose what I want to get from each situation. And I get to choose how my dream looks and my manifestations come to life. And every time I start, following these paths and well, I did this and I did that. Well, why isn't it working? Because I'm not honoring my authenticity. I'm honoring somebody else's. And because they said that these are the steps that we take. I'm not saying that can't work for some people. If you find somebody and, you do the steps that they took and it works for you, great. But those of you who don't, and you've tried several things, several ways, and it doesn't work, it's because you are being asked to honor your way. What way works for you? What are the things that bring you joy? And what are the things that you can let go of? And when things aren't manifesting the way that you want, what is the lesson that you're missing? It's not a failure. And you're being asked to find your own path and then to share that. Because maybe it can help somebody else, or it can help them decide to find their way, to find their true authenticity. Because we are being asked to just be who we are. The divine that we came here to be. Not somebody else's view. Not somebody else's goals. Not somebody else's dreams. And not somebody else's manifestations. We need to stand up for ourselves and to allow the flow, allow things to happen, and not be so discouraged when it goes a different way than we think, and not be so discouraged that this whole process of manifesting our dreams doesn't work out the same as someone else. We need to stop comparing. We need to stop judging. And especially judging ourselves. Because this worked out for somebody else. Or, they had a greater, trial. And they got through it. Like, why can't I get through this? We need to stop this comparison because we are different. It's like they talk about snowflakes. Like, each snowflake is its own. There's never going to be another one the same. And that goes for us. There's never going to be a part of God that's you. So I'm not saying just give up on everything and don't, follow your heart. But when you're asking the universe to show you ways, if, and you're trying these ways and they aren't working, it's just telling you to take another path and maybe trust your heart. Because everything is within you. So we are all divine. We are all light workers. We are all beautiful expressions of God, because we are God. We are the creators. And we need to be ourselves, our own expression. And to not look outside of ourselves. And especially when you've maybe tried some programs, you've tried doing this, and you've wholeheartedly put yourself into it, and it doesn't seem to be having the same outcome as other people have. It can be disheartening, but that is just the universe asking you to take another path, look another way. It was like I talked about the other day, this or something better. The universe has something better for you than that. And we just need to look inside our hearts to realize that. And to realize that it isn't a failure, that it isn't wrong. And, over the last week for me, there's been, some ebbs and flows, ups and downs, but it's brought me to this realization that I'm being asked to do those things. To find the path that I want to, that will create my dream. Because maybe sometimes we think that we're putting work into our dream when we're really putting work into somebody else's, or the steps that they took to realize their dream. So it's got to work for us. But it's not true, because we have our own path. And in our goals, there's going to be times where not everything is going to work. And when it doesn't work, so to speak, is just telling you to go another way. And to just look at your goal, look at your dream, and really decide on what you want from that dream. Instead of maybe a money goal, have a happiness goal, a fulfillment goal, and ultimately a love goal. I'm not saying don't. We can't have money, because money is just a vibration. It's just an exchange of energy. So we're all worthy of it. But really, the ultimate goal is for love. It's for joy. It's for fulfillment. And maybe, if you're not manifesting in every area, it's because you're not being authentic or true to your path. So just take some time in solitude with yourself to ask the deeper questions and to seek the deeper wisdom from within yourself. Because maybe that's what it's asking you to do. Because these other paths, these other ways, these other, step 1, 2, and 3 will get you this, are not working, because you're being asked to take a different path, to take your path. What is your path? And when we decide to take our paths and to be authentic to ourselves, those are the times that we do manifest our heart's desires. Not, the mind or the ego desires. But we also want to bring those all together. But when we are authentic to our heart, that's when we're going to manifest those things. And I've seen this pattern, in my life. When I start getting in my head, when I start spiraling into this, why am I manifesting this? Why is this happening? Why? Instead of the, what can I learn from this? Or the, what other path should I take? Because this is taking me to a space I don't want to be. So what can I do different? What can I change so that my perception of myself is authentic to me? And I'm not judging myself, and I'm not comparing myself. Because those just lead us to these paths of, self-destruction, basically. Because you can't compare yourself to anything, anyone. Because there's nobody like you. There's no expression of God, of the Creator, of the universe that is the same as you. So how can you compare? And why? Because you are beautiful the way that you are. You are beautiful because of the path that you are taking. You are beautiful because of your heart, because of your expression. So be you. And in being you, you will manifest your heart's desires because you're being authentic to you, to your heart, to the connection, to the universe, to the creator, to everyone else, to the, you're expressing your part of this whole beautiful universe. And you're being authentic to that part first, before any other part. And in being authentic to you, your part first, is when we, can manifest and we can share that with the whole then. Because we know. Because you know then your beauty. You know your worth. You know I am that. And it doesn't matter then what happens or what somebody else says or feels or whatever towards you, because you know I am that I am. I am love. I am light. I am joy. I am peace. I am grace. I am worthy to manifest my dreams in the way that I see, in the way that I know that my heart desires for me to be, because I'm being authentic to me and my path. I'm being authentic to the way that I want to do things. Yes, there is an order to the way things go, but the order to way things go are your choice in your path, in your life, in your expression. And you need to trust in yourself. And the more that we do that, the more then you can be consistent in your manifestations with what your heart desires. Because sometimes we have these desires that we think are our heart's desires. And they end up really not being. And that's part of the reason why they don't manifest as well, is because it's not truly in alignment with your authentic self, with who you really are. The God inside, the I am, the universe inside you, the whatever you want to call it inside you, the part of you. That is connected to everything. And that part does want to become one with all of you. But there are other layers and things that we need to peel away and to then integrate and love and let be what they are. Because everything that's ever happened to us has led us here. To remembering our authentic heart. To to remember that we are creators. And to remember to be who we are individually, our expression in this world. And then when you're in connection with that continually, you will manifest and you will see that there's no rules or step by step thing that you have to follow, because you're being authentic to you. So why wouldn't you manifest what your authenticity wants to manifest, what your heart desires? Because you're in connection with it. So I pulled a couple cards for you today from Denise Lynn and the Sacred Travel Oracle cards. Sacred Traveler. Denise Lynn wrote a really grand book called Soul Coaching, and it's super get in touch with yourself. My dragon is all crazy here. Okay. He's getting crazy. There we go. He's saying, yeah, this is a good book. He was with me when we were doing it. So, first one is reaching your destination. Your light is shining brightly. Oh my goodness. I mean, he does breathe fire. So, and again, like every time I pull cards and, I just ask to pull cards that are, coincide with the message, I'm like amazed every time at how awesome the universe is. And, so reaching your destination, your light is shining brightly. So when we're authentic to ourselves, we reach our destination, and we don't have to worry about these, if we're manifesting correctly, if we're doing this right, if, blah, 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 because we're authentically connected. So all your hard work and effort is paying off. Glory, triumph, and success are yours. If you've given your power away, now it's time to reclaim it. It's time to stand in your own light. A destination is less of a place, but more of a new way of seeing the world. Your dreams are moving to fruition. If you have any incomplete projects or unresolved relationships, this is the time to complete them. This is an important part of reaching your destination. Take time to celebrate and acknowledge your success in life. The Sacred Traveler wants you to know the voyage was long, and there were many adventures along the way. But as your trek reaches the destination, there's a feeling of joy and celebration, and it's important to stop and rest and congratulate yourself for who you are and for what you have done. The traveler forgives those who on the voyage were less than honorable. Release any feelings of resentment, fear, sadness that you may have gathered along the road. You've reached your goal. Let everything else go. You are a majestic being that can bring light into the hearts of others. Celebrate and honor yourself. You are worth it. Pretty cool, when we are just who we are, that brings us to, different points, different goals in our manifestation, in our life. And the other card is stepping into your power. You are strong beyond all measure. Take back your power. Stand in your own light. Even if your burden seems heavy, it makes you stronger. If you've been standing on the sidelines or acquiescing to the needs of others, this card is letting you know it's time to stand up for yourself. The challenges you faced are making you stronger. You no longer need to live your life for others. Yet if you choose, your light can illuminate the path for others. The greatest power is silent and deep. It doesn't need to show a force. It just is. If you've lost or given away your authority to someone or something else, it is time to reclaim it. If you're afraid of standing in your truth because you're afraid of being judged, shunned, or rejected, it's time to let go of your hesitation. If you've been carrying responsibilities for others, you are stronger for it. However, it is time to decide to either let them go or continue forward with them, but on your terms. You have a remarkable inner spiritual power that is born of sacred love, wisdom, and grace. So when we're authentic to who we are, we step into our power and we get to choose. We get to decide how our manifestations are brought to life, how they look in our creation, in our world, in our love, in our light. And we regain our power and we can take it back at any point. So, I love you all. And if you haven't subscribed and you feel like this video has resonated with you, I just implore you to go ahead and do that. And in the description of the video are other ways that you can get a hold of me if you are interested. And just know that you are eternally adored, and know that when you are authentic to yourself and your heart is when you manifest. So I love you all. Have a great night, and I will see you tomorrow.